Who say does
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan, joined at the broadcast table by Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And as always, we'll hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. And here's the upcoming schedule now for the Miami Heat. On Saturday, they'll tip off a road trip in Charlotte where they'll take on the Hornets. Then on Monday, they'll go back home and they'll be hosting the Detroit Pistons.
And that game against the Wizards, that's a contest that I'll keep an eye on. That'll be the 5th time they take to the floor, and they want to get off to a quick start.
Now the starting group for Orlando. Underneath, in the post, it's Banchero and Carter Jr. In the backcourt form, it'll be Suggs and Caldwell Pope. And it's Wagner in at the small forward. And for Miami, Anderson is out there with Tracy McGrady. And then there's Antetokounmpo. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Bird in at the small forward. And this season's still very young. Greg, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, Kevin, I'm always interested in the rookies, seeing which guys step up. The leap to the NBA can be a huge one, so you never know what will happen with some of these young players.
Wagner against Bird. Banchero with the ball. The rebound by Anderson.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now here's Butler and slam dunk by Butler.
Love seeing Butler go up strong. When he dunks it, you feel it from here.
About 1 minute into the first quarter. Caldwell Pope against McGrady. It's stolen by McGrady. Out to Bird. For three. And the Heat, another three.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
In terms of defense, Greg, the Magic have taken some big steps forward.
Oh, they really have. It was a focus for them last season, and it has paid off. They were the kind of team nobody wants to face, and it led to their first playoff berth since 2020.
And it's Banchero missing.
Nice work defensively to contest that shot right at the rim. Nothing easy.
Takes a three, and that one's good. McGrady.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Bird against Wagner. Will it go? It's hauled in by Giannis. For Miami, they've gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. And there's the drive. Oh, and Antetokounmpo hammers it in.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how you want to start a game, with a big offensive push.
Now, here's Suggs. Caldwell Pope on the wing. Defended by Bird. To the middle. Wagner passes to Carter. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Just 2 to shoot. And it's Wagner missing. The Heat leading by 13. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, I did speak with head coach Eric Spoelstra, and we spoke briefly about how critical it is to slow down Paolo Banchero. Coach said he can be a force on offense when he gets a couple to fall. The energy and effort from our guys has to be high if you want to contain him. We'll see if that team can contain Banchero out there, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And Jamal Mosley has called timeout. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust. LeBron's checked in for Miami. Jordan comes in for Larry Bird. Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for Orlando. And it's the Magic with the ball. Looking for their first basket of the game. Here's Caldwell Pope. Off the mark, and the drop continues. And so Jordan will bring it up for Miami. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Orlando. The kick out to Anderson. Three-pointer. And the Heat, another three.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Launches it. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
And you can tell he's looking for his shot. He just believes in it.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Here's LeBron. Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
And his handle might be an underrated part of James's game. Totally throwing off the defender with that move.
On our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you just saw an explosive highlight. Now, here's Suggs. Still scoreless. Wagner outside. Pass to Carter. 5 on the clock. Now, here's Suggs. The Magic again can't hit.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better look. That's one he's got to knock down.
Anderson against Suggs. And finish off by Anderson.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
Yeah, now it's all about maintaining this lead, but you can't start playing it safe. You got to keep attacking and executing.
Here's Wagner after the Heat pick up 2. Caldwell Pope outside. Isaac right side. Here's Wagner. And the last-second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's Miami, ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Heat.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And also, guys, they're out-muscling their opponent. The points in the paint are piling up because of that aggressiveness.
So with Butler sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. We've got Kawhi Leonard. LeBron James is out there with Bird. Then it's Jordan. And it's Wade in at the shooting guard. The first overall pick, and Stan, we have seen this kid, 6'10" Paolo Banchero. How impressive have you assessed his passing skill?
Well, Kevin, it was the thing that surprised me most about him when he came in the NBA. I knew he could put the ball on the floor and attack the basket, get to the free throw line, but he is one of the best big playmakers in this league, making the game easier for all of his teammates.
Wow, what a great asset.
You aren't kidding.
Here's Anthony going inside. Banchero dishes to Anthony. Can't cash in from close range. Miami's gotten on a roll from three-point land. They've been flawless. 6 for 6 tonight. James way outside. They get it again. Three-pointer. Sinks the three-pointer. LeBron's got 5 now.
LeBron won't hesitate if he finds a spot he likes behind the arc.
Inside. Wagner kicks to Isaac. Orlando moving the ball around. Back to Banchero. Out to Harris. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by the Heat.
Boy, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Pass to Bird. Into the lane. And it's Bird with the jam.
I can't think of a shot or move that Larry Bird doesn't have in his arsenal.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Stolen by Bird. Leonard with no one around. And the Heat, another three.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin, the Heat are always a tough-minded bunch. Jimmy Butler says, I just think nobody cares on our team. Make or miss shots, we're going to be who we are because we're not worried about anybody else. So that's what I think it is, the I don't give a darn factor. I'm paraphrasing, Kevin. You get the picture.
I do, David. You are G-rated. Hey, thank you, D.A. We know the 90s were a different era, Greg. Either win the game or win the fight. Remember that? Do you miss that physicality?
Well, I will say, Kevin, it made for some great stories, but I don't think we're missing much without all the extracurriculars. And I think we have a beautiful game now.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Anthony taking his time here. Banchero with the screen. They could use a bucket. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. So, Stan, we have a second-generation player in front of us, and next to us is Dad, Cole Anthony. He has his dad's gift, don't you think, for passing the ball?
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot more scoring gift than his dad had. You know, and the thing I love about what Cole has done, though, I respect so much, is he's accepted that role coming off the bench, and he's been such a great weapon for them.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Butler, he's checked in for Bird. McGrady comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Anderson in for Dwayne Wade. And Anderson gets it to go.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And it's Suggs missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
A three from Anderson. And again, Miami with the triple.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Stolen by Anderson. And finished off by Anderson.
And they're getting points. They're getting stops. And this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
So it's Orlando now. The Heat getting the bucket. Carter kicks to Suggs. Wagner outside. They double him with Butler. Pocket 6. And so Orlando again turning it over. And some changes here for the Heat. Giannis comes in for James. And Larry Bird sub for Michael Jordan. And a switcher also for Orlando. Isaac's checked in. 34 seconds left in the first half. Butler on the wing. Jacks up a three. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Well, now that they've settled into this game, you can see the offense is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and that is key for them. Continuing to build out this lead. Well, he's just dominating right now. If his teammates are smart, they'll keep getting him the ball.
Wagner against Bird. Looking to end the run. And it's Wagner missing.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Well, this is a spot where you have to be able to go to your leaders. They need to step up and make a play to turn things around.
And so it's Miami, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Hello and welcome. Before we take a...
Well, right now for the Heat, I've always loved when I started the season at home. I'd be eating good, I'd be dominating down low,
And looking now at that first half, anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for the Orlando Magic. And that's a halftime wrap.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You know, the doctor has been exceptional here today, guys.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
And it's Orlando's ball. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Checking out the group for Jamal Mosley to start the second half. In the backcourt form, it'll be Suggs and Caldwell Pope. Wagner and Banchero are the forwards, and it's Carter in at the center. Here's Suggs. And it's off from three-point range. Here's McGrady. Nice move. And he dunks it down.
Doing it with style. McGrady punishing the D for giving him that kind of airspace.
Awesome display of athleticism captured by our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Instead, it seems like time and again, the Heat uncover those hidden gems, turning unknowns into big contributors.
That's one of the things they do best, Kevin. The list of names like that is long, but look no further than Udonis Haslem, whose jersey they retired last season. Their hard work culture seems to breed those kind of success stories.
The tray buries the long-range jumper. McGrady's got 5 points in the quarter.
And how about getting a hand up on McGrady, especially when he's looking to shoot from the outside?
And Bird comes to help. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Here's Banchero. And it's Miami with the rebound.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Three-pointer, Butler, and the Heat, another three.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
And it's Orlando's ball. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. From the arc, hits the three-point bomb. Butler's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Heat.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by. And it's a great finish!
Oh, my. Well, Butler was breaking them down off the dribble. That was pretty.
Anderson against Suggs. Pass to Caldwell Pope. To end the drought. Suggs looking around. The 3-ball. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. And here's Giannis. He'll bring it up for Miami. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Knocks down the 3-ball.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Miami's gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jimmy Butler remains the Heat's franchise player. He says, the confidence my teammates and my coaches put in me, it's a lot. They hype me up out there and I just go play. I try everything in my power to make sure that we win. They trust me with everything. And Kevin, he's earned that faith.
Rodney DA, he tends to deliver in the biggest moments, and always has. Hey, we thank you for that report. And Bird comes to help. Butler with the steal. One-on-one here. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. He had a nice open look right there. Antetokounmpo's got 9 points in the quarter. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Miami.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
And another thing, guys, they've dominated on fast breaks tonight, outrunning their opponent the entire game. Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Well, sometimes you just make shots, but they've certainly come out on a tear here in the third quarter.
And it's Suggs missing.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Bird against Wagner. And Bird, here we go. Oh, and the jam by Bird.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
Well, clearly the defense has had no answer for them. Might be time to try something different.
And so it's Miami with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. We'll return shortly. Let's listen in on what Erik Spoelstra had to say to his team.
Trust each other. Let's get that ball moving. Right? Ball moving. No holds. No holds. Right?
Well, moving the ball is so important to these coaches.
I mean, it helps make the offense run smoothly, Kevin. When you move the ball, more scoring opportunities open up.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. Wade against Harris. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Man, we're seeing some big paydays for NBA head coaches these days, Stan. Do you miss it?
Do I miss the paychecks, Kevin? Yeah, payday was always really good in the NBA. No question about that.
What about now, though? What about now?
Well, it's gone through the roof, but look, the trade-off is the paydays are big, but there's not a great deal of job security, Kevin.
The Heat making a switch here. Young's checked in. Orlando moving the ball around. 6 to shoot. Here's Wagner. Miami grabs the miss. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. So with Butler sitting on the bench, this is who Erik Spoelstra has on the floor. Wade out there with Jordan. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Young, and it's James in at the 3.
You won't find a much more entertaining sight. I'd call that slam dunk contest level.
To the inside. Here's Banchero. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. And here are the Heat now. Shot on the wing, and there's another one for the Heat.
No question James has the green light from anywhere. That mid-range is just another area where he's dangerous.
Pass to Banchero. Shoots over Leonard. And that one goes long.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Here's James. And the dunk by James.
Watch out. LeBron's on the move, and he's not going to be denied.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
It's stolen by Wade. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it. And, Greg, everyone loves talking trades. Future first-round picks have been moved quite a bit of late, and that's been kind of interesting.
And, Kevin, a lot of teams that don't control any of their future first-round picks. With so much pressure to win now, GMs are willing to use draft assets.
Anthony drawing the double team, and the Magic can hold on to the ball. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still.
That's a careless pass and a wasted possession. That's just unnecessary.
JaVale McGee's checked in for Young. And a switcher also for Orlando. Jalen Suggs is checked in for Gary Harris.
They just won't miss. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
Here's Anthony. And that time, also a missed shot. The Heat have gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go win. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter. And here's Leonard from three. It's good from long range.
This team relies on that shot from Kawhi.
They get a hand on it. Anthony, the pass to Suggs. Back to Anthony. Miami grabs the miss. LeBron outside from deep. And the Heat, another three.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
Well, if you're looking to get points in a hurry as the game clock's running down, that's certainly the way to do it.
Kicks it out to Banchero. Pass to Isaac. 4 on the shot clock. From deep, James. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%.
And the total package, James, is so much fun to watch.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Heat.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for the Doctor.
Yeah, and I loved his attitude tonight. He really had that scorer's mentality. Absolutely no one was stopping him.
Suggs against Jordan. Another miss by Orlando. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Now here's James. Driving inside.
And it's just competing. You know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
And here is Suggs. Here's Isaac. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. From deep, Jordan, and the Heat, another three.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
All right, David, thanks so much. And that about does it for their first game.
Hi, everybody. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. And along with Grant Hill and Doris Burke, I'm Brian Anderson, joined by Allie LaForce. Year after year, this early portion of the season is characterized by a great deal of overreaction, Grant.
The media and fans build up a lot of expectations in the offseason. And it's not that bad, but when those expectations aren't met, watch out. Listen, we all just need to settle down and see how things play out. The season is still very young.
And let's check Miami's starting lineup. They've got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's Bird in at the 3. Bridges against Butler. Shot clock at 5. Williams a screen on Butler. Here's Bridges. Giannis with the rebound. The Hornets are in the midst of a playoff drought. Their last appearance was 2015, Doris.
Yeah, B.A., that's the longest active streak in the league, not something you love to be associated with. And listen, like other organizations, they've hit on some draft picks, they've missed on some draft picks. A lot of the problem has been injuries that have plagued this organization.
And it's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hornets will retain possession. Out of bounds. It'll be Miami's ball. And about a minute gone in the first quarter. Anderson for 3. And again, it's Miami from deep.
The defense is nowhere to be found guarding the three-point shot.
Hey, Shams, the Heat seem to always be in that area of making a big move, thinking about a big move, certainly seeing what could be out there. What's your sense? Are they trying to shake up their core right now?
The Heat always feel like they are close to competing and really trying to get to the cusp of winning a championship. The question is, can they find another star player to bring to this group? Are they willing to move the assets? And do they have the complementary pieces to go get that star player? But the Heat, you've seen it over the last 4 or 5 years. They're a team that has one thing in mind, and that's winning a championship.
And they can be scary when they get to the playoffs.
Playing the regular season is one thing for this Heat group. They know when the lights are shining the brightest, they can turn it up another level in the playoffs. That's what Erik Spoelstra brings.
So with Durant sitting on the bench, this is who Erik Spoelstra has on the floor. They've got Anderson. Jimmy Butler is out there with Bird. Then it's Tracy McGrady, and it's Antetokounmpo in at the 5 spot. Now here's Antetokounmpo following the miss by LaMelo Ball. From past the arc, and Giannis Antetokounmpo for 3.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Hey, Shams, I know you cover the league like no one else, but I've seen your jump shot. You have a sweet J. You must have played organized ball, I'm assuming.
I played a little bit in high school, Kevin, but once I got cut in high school, that's when I knew my career path would have to trend into what I'm doing now, into writing and covering the NBA. But listen, I have a lot of confidence in my jump shot. Watching players like Steph Curry shoot the basketball. I'm not trying to give any comparisons, but I do love to shoot the ball. That is the one thing I know I can do decently on.
I know. I love your answer.
Not much else, but I can shoot.
And Miami making a change here. Jordan's checked in. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Down low, here's Ball. They can't stop the run with that one.
There's a little bit of pressure on him, but not enough to cause him to miss a shot that's in that close.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not one to puff out his chest and chase accolades. He said, I put the work in. That's how I get my confidence. I don't follow the media or my stats. What I know is that I put the work in, and I try to be the best version of myself. And that focus has served him well. Kevin?
It has. You know, his dedication, David, unquestioned. And we appreciate your report.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
Now, here is McGrady, following the miss by Miles Bridges. Driving the lane, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
And timeout is called by Charles Lee. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. "17 seconds left in the first quarter. Ball against Anderson. Pass to Green to end the cold streak. No good. Shot missing.
Well, the D's so tight on him, it makes him alter his shot. And an easy chance turns into a tough one because the defense is swarming.
And so it's the Miami Heat with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. Their defense has been and so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
We've got a bunch of this game yet to be played, but they're shooting it well from the three-point line. That's got to be a welcome sight.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal and you can get out in transition. They seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
So with Durant sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. LeBron James is out there with Young. Then it's Bird. Then it's Michael Jordan. And it's Wade in at the 2. Richards passes the ball. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Got to hold firm or you're going to get a call.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. JaVale McGee's checked in for Young. And it's Butler in for James. And it's in there. Jordan's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jordan. Williams, he's checked in for the Hornets. Cody Martin comes in for Trey Mann. Lopez, he's checked in for the Heat. McGrady comes in for Dwayne Wade. Williams, a screen on Jordan. 3 on the clock. Here's Ball. Lopez with the block.
And the space Lopez is able to cover on defense, using that size and length to reject the shots.
From deep, Jordan, that's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Bird kicks to Jordan. Tracy McGrady on the wing. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
At this point, I don't know what you can do to slow this team down.
Well, nothing that they're doing seems to be making an impact. And there are some nights where you just run out of options, whether it's by personnel or by tactic.
Shams, it's been fun. And you know what? It's been too short. So you got to promise you're going to come back and give us some more inside information on the NBA. We have loved every second having you here courtside with us tonight.
Sorry I was not able to break any big news on air this time, but you know what? My phone's ringing, so maybe next time.
Well, let me look at your phone. Wait a minute. Hold on. That is big news! Holy cow! Come back sooner than later, okay?
Thank you.
So great to have Shams stop by. You can see his passion for the game in every word he says.
Now, you can't work as hard as Shams does without having a passion for the NBA. It's not easy to be that plugged in.
There's Lopez with the 3. And again, Miami with the triple.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Williams finds Ball. Now Martin. Back to Ball. Outside Martin. And here's Green outside. He can't hit that time.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Frustration seems to be mounting here, and you can see not just in their faces, but right now in their quick and hurried shot selection.
And so it's Miami with a huge 37-point lead to end the quarter. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. We come back right after this.
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. It would be an understatement to say it's been a great half for the Miami Heat.
Well, it's been a stampede in transition. They'll run it right down your throat if you let them.
I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to.
And shifting our focus now, a breakdown of the injuries around the league. And that is...
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. We're seeing a tremendous game from Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
Up it forward, it's Miller and Bridges. Ball runs point with Martin out on the wing. And it's Williams at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the group out there for Charlotte. And Bird, here we go.
Oh, man.
I can't think of a shot or move that Larry Bird doesn't have in his arsenal.
And great camera work showing up on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam.